Nicki Minaj's timeline erupted on July 8, 2025, with a blast aimed straight at Sean Jay-Z Carter. "We've calculated $100 to $200 million so far. Call me to settle this karmic debt." For most artists, that single tweet would be enough headline fuel for months. Yet within hours, two long quiet names, Blu Cantrell and MYA, began trending beside her. Fans asked a pointed question: if three careers scattered across 2 decades describe the same invisible chokehold, is it a coincidence or a playbook? Tonight we retrace every breadcrumb: contracts that vanish, playlists that freeze, live streams that suddenly glitch, and rumors that linger long after the charts forget. Decide for yourself whether the pattern is myth-making or proof that power, once threatened, always strikes back. In 2001, Blu Cantrell's Hit 'Em Up style detonated across top 40 radio, scoring Grammy nods in a worldwide tour. Labels jostled for the follow-up until, in spring 2004, Arista Records simply forgot to renew her contract, an oversight insiders still call the strangest clerical error of that fiscal year. Left without representation, Blu sifted through royalty statements and realized the math didn't add up: platinum airplay, but nowhere near platinum pay. She later told You Know We Got Soul she needed a guardian angel in that room, admitting she hadn't understood half the clauses stamped above her signature. Then came the whispers. Blogs claimed Jay-Z had shown romantic interest. Forums replayed backstage photos. Paparazzi suggested Beyonce felt professionally threatened. The tension crystallized when fans noticed Beyonce and Jay-Z's 2003 Bonnie and Clyde visuals mirrored the sepia-tinted desert imagery Blu had released months earlier for her single, Roundup. Cantrell brushed it off until 2012. A passerby in Santa Monica dialed 911 after spotting her running barefoot, shouting that someone pumped poisonous gas into the street. EMTs rushed her for a psychological evaluation. Tabloids filed the incident under meltdown. Fans, however, archived it next to her unanswered contract renewal and the sudden radio silence that followed. Whether paranoia or proof, Blu's career never recovered, yet she was not the last to describe the same shadow. By 2003, Mia Harrison had sold 3.2 million US albums, collected a Grammy nomination, and dominated TRL with choreography studied in every teen bedroom mirror. Then, the remix to Best of Me dropped, featuring Jay-Z at peak Roc-A-Fella swagger. Fans loved the collab. Gossip columns loved the chemistry. Within a year, rumors flared that Jay continued financially supporting Mia even after marrying Beyonce, and that Mrs. Carter requested a quiet industry distance. In 2014, bloggers revived the claim Mia was blackballed for refusing to play mistress politics. Tom calls from program directors stopped. Release dates slipped. One executive, speaking anonymously to a Houston podcast, said, "Nobody told us don't spin her. They just winked and said the partnership wouldn't be advantageous." Public proof? None. Career trajectory? A cliff dive, uncannily timed with the gossip. 2 voices down. By late 2023, tension between Nicki Minaj and key Roc Nation figures was hard to miss. It flared publicly that December after veteran hip-hop journalist Elliot Wilson reposted a playful clip of Nicki's Twitch appearance with streamer Kai Cenat, captioning it, "Hip-hop journalism." Nicki fired back, accusing Wilson of favoring industry power brokers, specifically Jay-Z, over rising creators. The jab wasn't vulgar, but it signaled that she believed influential media voices were helping gatekeep on behalf of the Carters. Behind the scenes, a larger dispute was brewing. Nicki claims Roc Nation offered her roughly $1 million to settle outstanding profit share questions stemming from Jay-Z's 2021 sale of Tidal. Her own calculations, she says, placed her equity closer to $9 million. When she declined the lower figure, fans began reporting odd glitches, missing likes, throttled search results, and comments that disappeared moments after posting. Nicki shared screenshots to document the pattern and argued it was a form of digital silencing. On July 8, 2025, the conversation reached a boiling point. Nicki posted a thread estimating a $100 to $200 million karmic debt owed to artists and reiterated her plan to direct any eventual payout into college tuition funds for fans. She tagged Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez and referenced court filings that, according to Nicki, raise serious questions about industry practices. Though she didn't cite specific evidence of wrongdoing, Nicki suggested that powerful allies sometimes use corporate influence to steer public narratives, dampen critical voices, and distract from unrelated legal troubles facing other celebrities. Within hours, supporters documented fresh anomalies on multiple social platforms, live chat delays during Nicki's streams, trending topic removals, and playlists that briefly dropped her songs. Whether coincidence or targeted moderation, the timing strengthened her argument that unseen forces can still shape visibility in the streaming era. For Nicki, these receipts form the backbone of her claim that modern censorship isn't loud or explicit. It's algorithmic, quietly erasing momentum one interaction at a time. Platforms never admit a shadow ban. Instead, they cite routine quality filters or potentially harmful content. Here's how artists say it feels. Views plateau mid-hour, comment boxes vanish, share buttons produce error codes, and your name fails to autofill, unless spelled wrong. Developers insist bans are automated. Skeptics note that the freezes often follow legal threats or spicy interviews, not nudity or hate speech. In Nicki's case, fan-tracked metrics showed a 47% dip in discoverability within 24 hours of her July 8th thread, then a miraculously timed recovery once mainstream outlets stopped covering the feud. Speculative? Yes. But to insiders, it echoes an older tool. Pull the single from radio, yank the tour sponsorship, starve the oxygen. Only the interface changed. Pattern watchers chart an uncomfortable graph. Blu Cantrell, rumored J-Fling, deal evaporates. MYA, remix chemistry rumors. Radio shrinks. Carrie Hilson, lyric implying Beyonce rivalry. Industry freeze. Amari, Te'era Marie, even Carrie Hilson. Same whispers, same fade-out detractors call it coincidence. Supporters call it a protection racket. Remove any female vocalist whose tone, range, or vibe might compete with Beyonce's ascension. Articles citing unnamed A&Rs describe a do not promote phone tree triggered by jealousy or PR strategy, though no executive has ever confirmed it on record. Important caveat, these remain allegations shaped by rumor, forums, and off-the-record DMSing. No signed memo links the Carters to a suppression scheme. Yet the chorus grows louder each year. Why would labels comply? Start with box office math. A Beyonce stadium tour can lift an entire regional economy, from hotel chains to Uber surges. Cross the Carter camp, and you risk losing advertising slots for everything: Pepsi halftime deals, Ivy Park tie-ins, Made in America festival billing. One veteran promoter, voice disguised in a 2024 Clubhouse room, claimed he'd been handed a list of artists not aligned with our corporate partners. He didn't ask why. He valued his insurance underwriters. Fear doesn't require written orders when a frown at the wrong banquet can cost 7 figures. For smaller acts, silence often lasts because nobody with equal clout volunteers to amplify them. Until perhaps 2025. Creators now own direct lines, Patreon, Kick, decentralized DSPs that pay in crypto within hours. Shadowban one profile and another sprouts behind a paywall. Blu Cantrell quietly launched a Substack this spring, hinting she'll publish every receipt once legal red tape clears. MYA, who spent a decade self-releasing in Japan and streaming indie tours on Veeps, teased a doc-series titled After the Silence in May. Early teaser, a dimly lit studio booth, her voice over the raw mix. This time, nobody cuts the feed. Meanwhile, Nicki's fanbase dwarfs several record conglomerates combined. If she migrates to a platform offering equity and editorial freedom, it sets a precedent no boardroom can ignore. Scenario A, nothing. Headlines cycle, lawyers settle quietly, Spotify playlists recalibrate, and pop culture returns to humming along the Carter Highway. Scenario B, everything. One hard drive leak, one subpoena, one viral YouTube expose strings the anecdotes into documentation. Advertisers balk, festival directors hedge, a Netflix or A24 greenlights a Framing the Carters doc. We've seen it before. Taylor Swift for Scooter Braun shifted public sentiment on master ownership in 2019. If Blu, MYA, Nicki, and whomever else enters the chat pool their archives, the outcome could redraw pop's power map for a decade. Reminder: allegations remain unverified, yet the momentum is factual, measurable by every spike in hashtag analytics. Blu Cantrell watched a contract dissolve in the very year she should have headlined award shows. MYA saw rumor eclipse artistry until label calendars magically emptied. Nicki Minaj claims algorithms now perform the same erasure in digital armor. 3 eras, same bruise. Is it a grand coincidence or evidence of a strategy polished behind closed doors? The answer may hinge on who speaks next, and whether the industry finally listens. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any daily upload. Thanks for watching.